Hey, good morning, friends. Happy Saturday. It's Sam from Maryland Magnet Fishing. I am back out here at the Kent Narrows boat landing and fishing area. Today I'm just going to focus on this section here. It was around here where Cap Marin found that old battery powered saw, and then I'm going to go up around there because that's where a lot of people go fishing. He has, wipe this lens real quick, sorry. He's got babysitting duty this morning. Had another friend was gonna come out and his wife got sick. So I said, heck with it, I'm gonna come out. It's supposed to get into the upper 40s today, which is a far cry from what I was dealing with last Saturday. But I do have my little, I guess you can see it, this little, excuse me, life vest, self-inflating life vest. The tide is very high today, so yeah, I just wanted to make sure I keep this vest because anytime I'm out by myself, I always will wear this. One thing I always do is I look for points of egress. So I've got a ladder over here. These, I don't know if you can see, there's stringer boards that go along there, so if I did happen to fall in, that'd be a way I could get out. But the nice thing about this vest is I fall in the water, it's going to be kind of cold, so this will give me a little chance to get my bearings about me and then figure out how I'm going to extricate myself. So anyhow, let me get this GoPro on. Today I'm just using my 1,200-pound Dock Buster, my 1,200 double side, and then over there, if my memory serves me correctly, it's pretty rocky, so I'm probably going to go to that little 375-pound cone magnet. So I'm hoping I can find some tools and stuff. We have not been to this area for a while. I apologize for the bridge noise, but the bridge here above me gets a lot of traffic, so hopefully this pans out, because I did get permission to go back to my one field here to metal detect. Unfortunately, we have to wait until the end of the month. There's goose season going on now. Now the field I hunt in, there's no geese. There's no blinds there for people to hunt, but I just promised the girl that I'd wait till February. So the field used to belong to my oldest friend, and he sold it to his sister. So I just need to make sure I keep her happy. So we will definitely, Cap Marin wants to go. Sorry about all the it's hard to concentrate with this noise, but I'll definitely be shooting some GoPro footage to put up here on the channel. The area I've been to there, it was pretty productive. I found probably, I guess, 6 or 7 plain buttons, found a couple of coins. Unfortunately, this field has been in use for over 100+ years, so anything that's copper in that field is just going to get roached. And of course, I made a rookie mistake. I found I think it was an 1863 Indian head penny, and I coated it with salt and put it in vinegar, and now I basically just have a real nice copper disc. It ruined the damn coin. It wasn't worth anything anyhow, but it was a rookie mistake, and I've learned from that now. There's one thing I did learn with, like, coins, buttons, you don't put them in water. That was another mistake I made. I have they're little circular coin boxes, and it's got foam in there with slots. So basically, I will just put the coins or buttons in there, let them dry, then take a old toothbrush and just basically wipe the surface down to clean up any debris on it, any dirt. I think I mentioned before, the odd thing is these buttons, they all average about size of a dime to a nickel. The fronts are completely plain. The first time I found one, I thought it was the back of a two-part button and that the front part had fallen off. Well, nope. That's the way they were made. They were made in England and imported to the United States between 1800 and 1840. So it's just really weird because the reverse side, the side that faces your clothing, can be ornate as all get out. Have designs, manufacturers' names, you name it. And you know, for today's thinking, it's like, why in the heck would they put all that on the inward side that's facing your clothing? But I guess that's how they did things back then. But there's a lot of trucks with trailers here. They got until the end of the month for goose and duck season. So these guys are, oh, what do we got here? Looks like old rusty, some kind of a screw, I guess. Well, let's start doing a little bit of tossing. I actually had to take a break from my big magnets because my shoulders were it's really starting to cause me some pain in my shoulders. As I've been unemployed for 4 months now, and there were days I'd be going out like 2 and 3 times a week. Don't be hating now, you know, just I had to. It's just something I had to get the heck out the house. My wife works from home, and 2 days a week she's got to go in the office half a day, and it was just, you know, just driving me bonkers. You know, there's only so much you can do around the house. Oh yeah, that's right, this is rocky as heck down here. Ah, crap. Man, I just got this magnet a couple weeks ago. I have yet to pop its cherry. I haven't found anything good with it yet, so I don't want to be losing this. I can move down a little bit. Kind of hoping the officer from Department of Natural Resources will show up, because when we were here about a month ago, when we were using my ramp sweeper, that's when we were snagging onto, I don't know if you can see it over there, over here is where we got those tarps up. And he'd come over and talk to Captain Aaron, and excuse me, I went back to my Jeep to get my claw, and I told him, I said, hey, we are snagging on a tarp, and we're hoping it's not a body. And he's like, man, don't say that, don't say that. And I jokingly told him, I said, well, I don't see any cameras around here, so if it's a body in there, we're just gonna kick it overboard and take off. And I don't know if he thought I was serious, but I just told him, I said, no, man, you know, we're just kidding. I said, but tell you what, we'll call the sheriff's department. He's like, okay. But this guy, good God, he's probably like 6'4", 6'5". But they, I know we used to crack on them when I was a kid, because I used to work on the water, and we used to refer to them as the crab police. But I got a lot of respect for the men and women, because they go out in this cold weather. They go up on boats that might have 6 or more people with shotguns, you know, to go out and check hunting licenses and bag limits. And a lot of times they're by themselves. So I got a lot of credit. You know, I give them a lot of credit. They got a thankless job, because they're the ones that have to keep tabs on people. I've got a fish hook that, you know, for the crabbing license, fishing license. It's a bad time now in this country to be a police anyhow, so I don't begrudge any of them. It's a lot different than when I was a cop in the military in the early late 80s. Bad problem about this place is that it's going to be in the shade most of the day, so it's a lot cooler here excuse me, than being out in the sun. But I've got another fleece I could put on, and my Jeep's only like 20 yards away, so I can always go over there and put another thermal on or something. Shoot, tag on it. Oh man, popped loose, whatever, it snagged on something. That's a sucky thing about here. It's so daggone noisy. You can't hear if you lock onto something. So but I contacted Department of Natural Resources Thursday about going to the state park, probably about 15 minutes from here, and the woman that I spoke to had never heard of magnet fishing. So I gave her probably about a 4-minute overview, and I was really tap dancing because this place has got 10 boat ramps, and from what Captain Aaron was saying, it's probably the most heavily used set of boat ramps in the state of Maryland. And she said, well, if you don't mind, let me check with my managers to make sure it's okay. And you know, I pitched about how we pulled up those tarps that could have gotten loose and fouled up or even ruined somebody's motor. And she called me back about 20 or so minutes later, said, yeah, it's fine. Only place they won't allow us is the boat ramps. And it's like, I mean, that kind of was like a gut punch. But I figured, you know what, at least we're getting our foot in the door here. And so I asked her, I said, well, you know, Anne Arundel County Parks, where I live, give free admittance to veterans. And she said, well, all I need is you to, another fish hook, send me a copy of her driver's license that has veteran on it, and I'll send you a 2-year park pass. So I did, and I told her, I said, well, what we'll do, we're going to go next Saturday. I said, well, I'll send you an email with pictures of everything we find, because I'm really hoping that this is going to segue us into being able to hit those boat ramps before springtime. Because I mean, the boat ramps here, it's only 2 of them, and they're busy as heck in the warmer weather. Now there's no fishing. The only people are going to be pulling boats in and out are goose and duck hunters. But what's this? A nail. So I'm just hoping that, you know, this will open some doors for state parks all over Maryland. Because Thursday morning I drove around, as I tell people, I like going on Google Earth, and I saw a couple of really nice private marinas, and I went to one, and the guy there, I don't know if he just was having a bad day, just wasn't a people person, but he was an a-hole. Went up, introduced myself, told him I do magnet fishing, Told them how it'd be a great way to clean up around the boat ramps and boat slips and get potential hazards out of the water. And I asked if he'd give me permission to come out. All the dude did was shook his head left to right. And I said, okay. I said, well, do you mind if I leave you my card? Because I have some cards made up with my name, my cell phone, and it says Magnet Fishing Recovery. And he just kind of stared at me. And I said, look, if your workers drop anything overboard, or, you know, patrons here drop anything, I'm like 15 minutes away. Give me a holler. I'll be more than happy to come out and you know, recover it for him. And all the guy said was okay. And I said, well, thank you very much. You enjoy the rest of your day. Nothing. So every place I actually drove through, a total of 3 of them, and all of them had signs as you come through the gated entrance that, you know, basically outside contractors must carry their own insurance, blah, blah, blah. So I shot Captain Aaron a text because he worked in boat yards most of his life. And he said, yeah, it's just probably a liability issue for them. So what I'm thinking, I have permission slips for metal detecting. And it basically says, you know, that I will not hold the property owner liable. So I'm just thinking maybe I could turn around and make some of them up for magnet fishing. I mean, on the one hand, I can understand, excuse me, I had to get some coffee, that I don't want somebody falling and suing, but, and I mean, I hate to play the devil's advocate, but I can understand. Everybody today wants to sue, and so it just stinks because that one area was massive. It had, gosh, I bet it had like 12.5 piers that, well, docks that probably could have held 30 boats. And I mean, this time of year, most of them were vacant, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I don't want to sit there and be an a-hole. I found the websites of 2 other places and emailed them. One guy politely said, not at this time. And I responded back, you know, hold on to my contact info in case anybody loses anything, and never heard back. So one thing I forgot to add, if you're new, if you're a new subscriber, if you could just leave a comment how you came across my page. Feel free to leave any comments. You got to bear with me because this is all new to me, you know, doing GoPro footage editing. I am not the most technically savvy person on the planet. I don't have any kids, so I can't get a young person to help me. So I'm trying to, you know, work on my content. But yeah, I just like being outside. It's a gorgeous day out here. It's a little cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just about, you know, getting out here, getting stuff up out of the water. Now, here's something that I was talking to Captain Aaron about. Somebody left, I don't know what this is, some kind of sauce. And look, it's no more than 10 yards here. 2 trash cans. People are just that damned lazy I'm 56 years old. I had a massive heart attack 3.5 years ago. And if my old heart attack surviving ass can come over here and police up this trash, anybody can. I actually brought trash bags and stuff if I find anything, because I mean, nobody's gonna be fishing here now. It just, sorry, that's one thing that just really really pisses me off, is that people just being slobs. I have yet to encounter it. I'm on something here. Shoot. I think it's probably a bolt off the sorry. I haven't seen or pulled up stuff like lawnmowers or, you know, any of that, but I've seen videos of guys doing that, and they're trying to pull this thing up, and there's oil and gas just coming up out of the water, and you just sit there and it's like, what kind of asshole would do this? Pardon my language, but you throw stuff like that in the water, you're a piece of garbage. You know, we used to call, when I was a police, a WOO, a waste of oxygen. Yeah, sorry if I get worked up over that, but like here, these tidal waters of the bay, when I was a kid, where I grew up, there used to be what's called eelgrass, and it would coat the bottom. We used to walk along and dip net for soft crabs, and you couldn't walk 2 feet without having your legs just bound up with it. And I got out of the military in 1988, come back home, and there's hardly any grass around, and slowly it's starting to come back. But you know, the people don't understand that, you know, we're just, please don't think I'm some kind of like tree hugger. Somebody was using this for a sinker. Now look, here's fishing stuff here I'm gonna throw away. Yeah, sorry, please don't think I'm some sort of a tree hugger, but it just, yeah, it's 2021 now. You know, there's no excuse for people to just be leaving crap like that on the ground. Yeah, it's plain laziness. But let me get up off of that topic. Yeah, that was good. That wasn't too loose, but I've actually gotten quite a number of railroad spikes that Captain Aaron and I pulled up. I've got an idea for some, I don't know if you want to call it artwork, but my friend down the road here, he gave me cut up 3 4-foot and 2 3-foot pieces, about 1.5 inch oak, old oak, stuff that was cut in a sawmill. And you can still see the saw marks on them. And what I'm gonna do is, I've got my spikes, and I bought some old barbed wire off of eBay, and I'm gonna lay the spikes out and then put the barbed wire on it. The problem is that wood is heavy as heck, so I wish I could find a sawmill that somebody could, I don't know what the correct term is, I call it rip it, but like cut them in half. My friend has a couple railroad ties, and I'm gonna go Tuesday back to St. Michael's, where I grew up, and magnet fish in the harbor in the center of town. And I'm gonna stop by and lop off maybe 1 or 2 pieces of railroad tie, and if I can get somebody to rip them down to like inch thick, I think that'd be cool to use that for the spikes. I mean, I got plenty of room in my shed that, you know, any wood he gives me I can save. So I'm just going to do that. I've actually taken some of the worst spikes, and I've made two. Some old man over here eyeballing me. Two bottle openers, and I took my right angle grinder and cut slots in there, and then I used a cutoff wheel on my Dremel, and then I went back with some small files and cleaned it up. But that right angle grinder, I got cutoff wheels for it. I actually bought that initially just to take magnet fishing, so if I pull anything up big, yeah, I can cut it up and take it home. But the cool thing is that you can get a screw-on wire wheel, and I got that because I had a wire wheel for my cordless drill, and just trying to clean up like the spikes, it was just wearing them down to beat the band. So wearing the wire wheel down, and this right angle grinder,